Welcome everyone. Ready to dive into the world of cybersecurity? Today we're focusing on CrowdStrike, a major player in this booming market. We'll explore their position, their AI-powered Falcon platform, and how they're growing despite some past bumps in the road. Plus, we'll consider what it all means for the future of cybersecurity. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you find this deep dive insightful. Now, let's be real. Cybersecurity isn't some niche thing anymore. It's a core investment for pretty much every organization out there, and there are some serious reasons for that.
You hit the nail on the head. The threat landscape is constantly changing, regulations are getting tougher, everyone's moving to the cloud, and AI is advancing at an incredible pace. All this makes cybersecurity a top priority for companies of all sizes.
And when we look at growth projections, it's clear why. Grand View Research estimates the global cybersecurity market was worth over $222 billion in 2023. They're projecting a compound annual growth rate of 12.3% from 2023 to 2030. Meanwhile, Markets predicts the market will reach almost $300 billion by 2028. What's driving this optimistic outlook? And are these firms using similar assumptions for their predictions?
Both firms point to the increasing sophistication and frequency of cyber attacks as a major factor. With more connected devices and remote work, the attack surface has expanded dramatically. This makes robust cybersecurity solutions absolutely essential. Plus, stricter data protection regulations worldwide are forcing organizations to invest heavily in security measures.
With such a promising market, companies like CrowdStrike seem poised for significant growth. Their cloud-native solutions covering endpoint protection, identity management, and threat intelligence seem to be right on target.
You're right, and their flagship product, the Falcon platform, is particularly impressive. It's not just a bunch of security tools thrown together, it's a fully integrated, AI-driven platform designed for top-notch threat detection and response.
The fact that the Falcon platform can process 2 trillion events daily is mind-blowing. Can you break that down for us? What kinds of events are they analyzing, and what makes this capability unique to CrowdStrike?
CrowdStrike's Falcon platform collects and analyzes a huge variety of events. Think file executions, network connections, user logins, system modifications, you name it. This massive data intake allows their AI models to pick up on subtle patterns and anomalies that might signal malicious activity. What sets CrowdStrike apart is their approach to endpoint detection and response. They use lightweight agents that have minimal impact on system performance. This allows for real-time threat detection without sacrificing speed or efficiency.
And the platform's AI models are continuously learning from this massive data set, right? Which is vital given the constantly evolving threats, especially zero-day attacks. Can you explain what zero-day attacks are and how CrowdStrike's AI tackles them?
A zero-day attack exploits a software vulnerability that's unknown to the software vendor or security researchers. They're incredibly dangerous because there's no patch or defense ready for them. CrowdStrike's AI is trained on a gigantic data set of both benign and malicious activity. This enables it to identify and flag potentially malicious behavior, even if it's something brand new. This proactive approach is crucial for mitigating the risk of zero-day attacks.
It reminds me of Microsoft's recent confirmation of 3 zero-day threats. It really underscores how critical platforms like Falcon are for staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. CrowdStrike's recognition as a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for endpoint protection platforms is a testament to their ability to handle sophisticated threats effectively while remaining user-friendly.
Gartner's endorsement holds a lot of weight. It means they've thoroughly evaluated CrowdStrike's capabilities and believe they can handle even the most complex threats, all while being easy for customers to use.
Absolutely. It's a strong indicator of their market position and their ability to deliver on their promises. This recognition strengthens their credibility and builds customer trust.
But we can't ignore the challenges CrowdStrike has faced, specifically the incident back in July 2024. What was the impact of that incident on customer trust?
The July 2024 incident definitely raised concerns. However, CrowdStrike responded with transparency. They identified the root cause, implemented mitigations, and communicated openly with their customers. Their growth metrics since then suggest they've navigated that challenge effectively.
Their financial performance does paint a compelling picture. A 27% year-over-year increase in annual recurring revenue, reaching $4.02 billion, is pretty impressive. And their total revenue for the quarter grew by 28.5% year-over-year to $1.01 billion. This continued strength and growth is hard to ignore, wouldn't you say?
Yes, those figures point to a strong recovery and sustained momentum, and their retention rates provide further evidence of customer confidence.
Let's talk about those retention rates. A 97% gross retention rate demonstrates minimal customer churn. What's even more striking is their 115% net retention rate, meaning existing customers are not only staying with CrowdStrike, but expanding their use of their solutions. Why are these retention rates so significant, especially after the 2024 incident?
These retention rates demonstrate CrowdStrike's ability to deliver value and build lasting relationships with their customers. Even after a challenging incident, customers stuck with CrowdStrike and even expanded their use of their products and services. This speaks volumes about the quality of their solutions, their customer service, and their ability to rebuild trust.
This success ties into the flywheel effect, often discussed in the cybersecurity industry. Can you explain this concept and how it applies to CrowdStrike?
The flywheel effect describes a phenomenon where a company's growth fuels further growth. For CrowdStrike, as their customer base expands, they gather more data, which strengthens their AI models and threat detection capabilities. This improved threat detection, in turn, attracts even more customers, creating a powerful cycle.
So it's a self-reinforcing loop where success leads to more success.
Exactly. More data leads to better AI, leading to more customers, and so on. It's a powerful dynamic that allows companies like CrowdStrike to build a significant competitive advantage.
Given this positive trajectory, how do analysts value CrowdStrike?
Analysts are forecasting a 25% compound annual growth rate in revenue for fiscal years 26 and 27. It's slightly lower than the guided 28% growth for fiscal year 25, but still remarkably strong.
And there's always the possibility of even faster growth, especially with the anticipated rise in AI adoption and the surge in cyber threats that will likely come with it.
You're absolutely right. As we integrate AI into more aspects of our lives, it inevitably creates new vulnerabilities that cybercriminals will try to exploit. This makes CrowdStrike's expertise in AI-powered cybersecurity even more valuable moving forward.
It's not just about revenue growth either. CrowdStrike's profitability is improving as well. Their EBITDA margin rose from the high teens to about 25% in the third quarter of fiscal year 25. This improving profitability, coupled with their strong growth outlook, could justify their current forward revenue multiple of 20x. But what are the potential risks investors should be aware of, especially considering the 2024 incident?
While CrowdStrike seems to have bounced back from the July 2024 incident, a similar event could damage their reputation. Trust and reliability are absolutely critical in the cybersecurity industry. Any breach of trust, even if handled transparently, can have lasting consequences.
It's like a home security company failing to protect a home from a robbery. Even with the best intentions and a thorough investigation, regaining that same level of trust is incredibly difficult.
Exactly. Maintaining customer confidence requires constant effort, especially in a field where trust is fundamental to success. That question of adaptation is crucial for CrowdStrike if they want to maintain their leading position.
What strategies do you think they'll need to use as the cybersecurity world keeps changing?
Well, they can't just sit back and relax with the Falcon platform, as good as it is. They need to constantly push the boundaries of what's possible with AI and threat detection. Continuous innovation is key.
So it's not just about keeping the current platform running, but also about looking ahead and coming up with new solutions to handle future threats.
Exactly. They have to be ahead of the curve, anticipating what attackers might do tomorrow and developing defenses for it today.
That must require a lot of investment in research and development, and they'll need to attract and keep the best people in AI, cybersecurity, and data science.
Absolutely. The competition for talent in those fields is fierce. CrowdStrike needs to create a work environment that draws people in, fosters a culture of innovation, and provides the resources for cutting-edge research.
Besides the technology itself, user experience is also really important. Even if the technology is super powerful, if it's too complicated or clunky to use, it won't be effective.
You're right. It's a balancing act between power and usability. CrowdStrike's solutions need to be accessible and intuitive for everyone, from security pros to everyday employees.
And let's not forget the human factor. No matter how advanced the technology gets, human error can still create vulnerabilities.
That's unfortunately true. So CrowdStrike also needs to focus on educating users and building a culture of security awareness within organizations.
It's about giving users the knowledge to be the first line of defense, like spotting phishing attempts, using strong passwords, and being careful about what they click on.
Exactly. It's all about creating a multi-layered defense system. Technology is crucial, but so is human behavior.
So CrowdStrike needs to be innovators, educators, and advocates for best practices. They need to spread the word about security awareness and help people understand the risks.
Precisely. It's about shifting the mindset away from security being just an IT issue. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility.
That's a crucial point. We all have a role in protecting ourselves and our data.
Absolutely. And as AI becomes even more widespread, that shared responsibility becomes even more critical.
Speaking of AI, what are some of the unique challenges and opportunities it brings to the cybersecurity landscape?
AI is a double-edged sword. It can be used for both good and bad. Cybercriminals can use it to automate attacks, create more sophisticated phishing campaigns, and develop new types of malware.
So it's like an arms race where both sides are using increasingly sophisticated AI.
In a lot of ways, yes. CrowdStrike and other cybersecurity companies are using AI to detect and respond to these AI-powered threats. It's a constant battle of innovation and adaptation.
How can companies like CrowdStrike stay ahead in this race?
One key factor is access to data. The more data they have to train their AI models, the better prepared they are to identify and stop emerging threats.
CrowdStrike's extensive data collection capabilities that we talked about earlier give them a significant advantage in that area, right?
Exactly. Their ability to collect and analyze trillions of events every day provides them with a rich data set for training and refining their AI models.
But it's not just about the quantity of data, is it? The quality and diversity of the data matter too.
You're absolutely right. They need data from a wide variety of sources that represent different types of attacks, different industries, and different geographical regions.
So this comprehensive data set helps their AI models learn and adapt to a wider range of threats.
Precisely. It also helps them identify and address any potential biases in their AI models, making sure their solutions are effective in different contexts.
So data is like the fuel that powers CrowdStrike's AI engine.
Absolutely. It's the foundation on which they build their defenses.
But AI also presents opportunities for CrowdStrike to enhance their solutions and offer new services.
Yes, AI can automate a lot of the tasks that security analysts currently do manually, freeing up their time to focus on more strategic work.
So AI can work alongside humans, making them more effective rather than replacing them entirely.
Exactly. It's about using AI to augment human intelligence.
Can you give us some examples of how AI can augment human capabilities in cybersecurity?
Well, AI can be used for automated threat hunting, proactively looking for signs of malicious activity within an organization's network.
So instead of waiting for an attack to happen, AI can actively search for and neutralize threats before they can cause damage.
Exactly. AI can also analyze massive amounts of security logs, looking for patterns and anomalies that might point to an attack in progress.
And that can help security teams prioritize alerts more effectively, focusing on the most critical threats.
Absolutely. AI can even automate incident response tasks, things like isolating infected devices and containing the spread of an attack.
That could drastically reduce the time it takes to respond to an incident, minimizing the potential damage.
Exactly. And AI can also personalize security recommendations for individual users, giving them specific advice on improving their security.
So AI can educate and empower users, helping them become more security conscious.
Precisely. It's all about using AI to create a more proactive and adaptive security approach.
This is all incredibly fascinating. It's clear that AI is playing an increasingly significant role in cybersecurity, both as a threat and as a solution.
It's a rapidly evolving field, and it's going to keep shaping the future of cybersecurity.
But even with all this advanced technology, we shouldn't forget the importance of basic cyber hygiene and security awareness.
Absolutely. Human error will always be a factor, no matter how sophisticated our defenses become.
So education and awareness are still vital parts of any comprehensive security strategy.
Exactly. It's about building a culture of security where everyone understands the risks and takes responsibility for protecting themselves and their data.
So for someone who's not a cybersecurity expert, what are some practical things they can do to stay safe in this increasingly complex digital world?
That's a great question, and one that deserves some careful thought. We'll explore some practical tips and strategies in the next segment.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to hearing your insights on how we can all take steps to improve our online security.
So let's get into those practical steps. A lot of basic cyber hygiene comes down to common sense and building good digital habits.
Things like avoiding suspicious links and not sharing your passwords.
Exactly. Those are fundamental. But we can take it further.
I'm all ears.
First, be mindful of the information you share online. Think twice before posting personal details like your address or birthday on social media.
Right, that information can be used for identity theft or to target you with scams.
And speaking of scams, watch out for phishing attempts. They're getting more sophisticated all the time.
I've seen some that look almost identical to emails from legitimate companies. It's scary how good they're getting.
It's true. Always double check the sender's address, look for typos or grammatical errors, and hover over links before you click them to see where they actually lead.
Good advice. What about passwords? I've heard different opinions on this. Should you use a different one for every website or pick one really strong password and memorize it? What's the best way to handle passwords?
Ideally, you'd have a unique, strong password for each of your important online accounts, like your bank, email, and social media.
But remembering 100 different passwords is pretty much impossible.
That's where a password manager can be a lifesaver. It stores and manages all your passwords securely.
So you only need to remember one master password to access all your other passwords. That makes sense. What else should we be thinking about?
Keep your software updated. Those updates often include security patches that fix vulnerabilities.
Because hackers look for weaknesses in outdated software to exploit.
Exactly. And whenever possible, enable two-factor authentication. It adds an extra layer of security.
So even if someone gets a hold of my password, they can't get in without that second factor, like a code sent to my phone.
Right. It makes it a lot harder for hackers to compromise your accounts.
This is all great advice.
Yeah.
Anything else we should keep in mind, especially with AI becoming more and more prevalent?
As AI advances, we need to be even more careful about the information we share and the sources we trust.
Because deepfakes and misinformation can be incredibly convincing these days.
Exactly. We need to think critically and be skeptical of anything that seems too good to be true.
So be smart, be aware, and be proactive about your online security.
Well said. That's really our best defense in this ever-changing digital world.
This has been a fascinating conversation. It's incredible how companies like CrowdStrike are using AI to fight cyber threats. But it's also empowering to know that we can all take steps to protect ourselves.
I agree. Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility, and the more informed we are, the better prepared we'll be to navigate this complex world.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up here. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into CrowdStrike and the future of cybersecurity. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.